Hello everyone, I'm Trevor, also known as an idiot on a motorbike. I was also formerly known as the body mechanic, as it's the name of my YouTube channel. So what's this vlog about? Well, it's about the trip I ran back in August 2025, known as the Highway to Heaven Grand Tour of Switzerland, which was done with other members of V-Twin Rideouts Yorkshire. This is my prologue for the trip. Now it's going to set the scene, how it came about, and build nicely into talking about what actually happened on the trip itself. It'll contain many pictures and videos of us all whilst on the trip, and it'll show you what the Alps of Switzerland has to offer. My usual week-long trip is to destination Europe. Now it's normally on my own or with one other, but a member of Air Valley UK Committee, which is a Harley owners group known as HOG, whom I was a road captain for and a member, but not now, wanted me to plan and then eventually lead a trip to Ireland. So back at the end of May 2024, that's exactly what I did. But that's another story for another day. It was a great trip though, we all enjoyed it, and as good as Southern Ireland was, I was in no rush to do Northern Ireland. I missed the dramatic landscapes that Europe offered. I needed to head back to the Alps. It was my favourite place to ride, and I still had mountain passes I wanted to conquer. Now I ran my own midweek riding group, and members that were on the island trip were also members of my midweek group, and they wanted to come with me. I put together a great trip, loads of big name passes, but due to family commitments I would have to go in August rather than my normal time being around the end of June, beginning of July, and this caused me some serious headaches. My usual trip would be to hotel hop in a circular style route, but in August very few of my target hotels that I'd already planned to stop at just didn't want a one-nighter, despite there being 10 of us requiring 8 rooms, so I needed a plan B. I quickly reorganised the trip, missing out on some of the passes that I wanted to do, for now anyway, and added in a few smaller ones. Put a gorge in there and a canyon just to bulk it out a bit. I found a nice family hotel I could use as a base in Reckingen at the bottom of the Ferry Pass. Then had another family hotel in Bühl, which is in Baden-Baden in Germany, and that would see us for the first and last night. And it was a great place because it was based at the side of the Black Forest. And the final hotel I needed I found in a place called Rochamberg, which is next to Lake Constance. Now I wrote a full itinerary for the group who were coming, so they knew exactly what was on offer. They had all been on my Southern Ireland trip and they knew the diligence I put into organising the trip. But from my perspective, those coming, I knew they could all ride well and would ride to the speeds of the road. They would follow me basically whatever speed I went at, which can cause a big headache regarding to timings when you've riders that won't do that, especially when your actual ride time can be between 6 and 7 hours on a day. The last thing you want is someone who rides slowly, like was on my previous Welsh trip. I needed a name for the trip, and after contemplating numerous names, I settled on Highway to Heaven, as I felt it spoke volumes of what to expect, what the trip was about. Now booking the venues and the Hull to Rotterdam ferry proved to be a nightmare. The ferry company made me do individual bookings for everyone. Why? Because apparently they don't do group bookings in August, and this caused havoc with me bank. Obviously they thought there was something fraudulent happening, and they blocked me card. After eventually clearing that up and being given the third degree about how I came about the hotels and their bank details, I eventually made all the payments. Phew, I thought. Thank goodness for that. It sure was a stressful few months, especially as 9 other people were depending on me. Now the trip was drawing closer, and 5 weeks before we were due to leave, disaster struck. My wingman on all my rides, Sam Routh, who at a mere 87 years young had been travelling through a green light, when a police car travelling through a red light hit him, knocking him off his bike where he sustained 5 broken ribs. His bike was a write-off. He did, however, have 2 other Harleys, one of which was his chosen bike for the trip of a lifetime for him. Realistically, there was no way he would recover sufficiently in time for a trip like this, a trip which would be physically demanding. For this was a rider's trip, leaving the hotel at 9 a.m. and not getting back till 6 p.m. or just after. And in the mountains, that can be a tough day in the saddle, even for the fittest of us, and throw in some bad weather and it becomes a real challenging day physically. Not wanting him to lose his money, we asked other members of Air Valley UK if they would like to come. Quite a few did. However, one was faster than the rest. He wanted it and paid for it immediately, so Sam got his money back. John Revans was now on board. Now, I didn't know much about John, how he rode, etc., but just wanted Sam not to lose his money. So I took a chance on John, and it paid off. John was a good rider, someone who could ride at speed and keep control of his bike, ride in the pack when needed, and not everyone can do that safely. And the trip would have been entirely different if he could not have. Now, since this was a V-twin Rideouts Yorkshire tour, you would expect everyone to be on Harleys because that's a prerequisite of being in this group. After getting everybody's bike registrations to submit to P&O Ferries, I discovered that that was not the case. All bar one was a Harley. Having spoken to Steve about it, he said his Harley was too noisy and he did not want to get any fines whilst passing through Germany. Now, some of the group have first-hand experience of this. Now, Steve, since he had paid his money and the hotels were all booked and paid for, it looked like his backup bike, which we're going to call Gertrude for the purpose of this vlog, he was on board. But boy, would he get some stick for it. So, 4 weeks to go, and my Harley Ultra Limited went in for a service. However, we found the belt, the drive belt, had quite a bit of stone damage and really needed changing. The belt was not fit for a trip of this magnitude. After speaking with Nick of Pontefract Motorcycles, he advised me against risking the trip. If the belt goes, you've got real problems, he said. I knew it was a big risk, so we decided to get it sorted, but we could not get a drive belt in time for the trip. So sadly, my Harley D, my Ultra Limited, was staying at home. I was gutted. This bike was sheer comfort, the Bentley of the biking world. Now I know what the Harley riders will be screaming. It's the Rolls Royce of the biking world. Yeah, I know. But I personally feel that mantle belongs to the Honda Goldwing. It's a much smoother ride, with loads of fairings which cover and protect the engine, making for easier cleaning. It's just probably not quite just as much fun. I did, however, have a second bike, a Japanese bike, a bike which could handle whatever this tour could throw at her and deliver with bags of confidence. Now, Rhonda the Honda normally did not get ridden during the summer. That was Harley D's territory. Winter was Rhonda's time. She could handle the issues brought upon her by the salt and the wintry road conditions much better. Something Harley's chrome just doesn't like. Rhonda's call-up was now. Otherwise, there wasn't going to be a show. She was a Honda NT 1100. Certainly not a Harley, but a touring bike nevertheless, and well capable, not to mention easier to throw around corners, especially since she was just over half of Harley D's weight.